Aussie dollar touching this moving average once again. So I do think the Aussie dollar is going to continue to be bearish. I think if you look at these candles here, there's a ton of wicks on the monthly. I think even though the US dollar is weakening, which has pushed this up a bit, I do think it's overall bearish. And I think if the dollar gains any strength, this is obviously going to tank. So looking at this, I'm going to move this over. Got all these zones we can clear up here. Kind of got your upper and your lower, kind of similar to Aussie Kiwi. I need some coffee here. So figuring this one out, we decided we want to short it, because if you look at the weekly, I mean way below the moving average, you look at the monthly, which we already checked out I guess, but you can see these big monthly wicks. So that tells me, like, yes, there's a beta bulls here, but like overall this area, anything above like 67, 30, like just not close above it. So I am still looking to short this, so I would find an area that's reasonable. And yeah, and a lot of other things would have to align as well, but as of right now, this seems like a pretty decent area. There was some rejection. It's right at a whole number, so this is huge. You see that 0.68 like as a whole? So we're going to look at our monthly range for Aussie USD. It's about 375 pips. So right now I have 370 marks. So yeah, that's perfect. We're just going to move these down a bit, down and over. And I'd put this right at 68. Remember, price always gravitates towards whole numbers. So this is literally your mark here. Just happens to be in range with this bottom zone, which is super reasonable. It's super likely that price will go to this area, and then because it's within the monthly range, it'll hit this area, but it might not break this area. It doesn't have to break this area, but it's more than likely going to head into it. It's kind of what price does, right? The liquidity is going to follow into the areas. It might not surpass them. It might not be enough to break this, but if it gets rejected here, then it'll head to here. It's kind of like the path of least resistance. So it's like, okay, we're not going up, we'll go down then, and then it'll find its way down to this area. So so setting up a trade here, we'll just move this over a little bit more. Maybe look for something like this. You got that nice 68 level. I would put this right to here. Well, no, we'll put it a little bit below here, below the whole level, and we'll just target this whole range. And then we'll find our little marker here. I always like to just mark so then I have more perspective. That is your monthly trade here. So kind of just see where this shapes up. And then there you go, there's your monthly target. So breaking down, Aussie dollar, that's what it looks like. That's what the monthly looks like. You got this massive daily bullish engulfing candle printing right now, which is a good sign that there's enough bulls to make it up to this zone. And then, I mean, if it blows through this zone, then we have to reassess things. But as of right now, I like this. I think this makes a lot of sense, and looking forward to the next few days to see what this does, and if we can enter a nice short and target this lower range. So that is Aussie dollar.